Let's talk about Tanzania. Of course, President Samia Suluhu Hassan was in Norway this week on a two-day economic diplomacy. The Madam President, who spoke at the Norway's Energy Platform Conference, was warming up with the European economy in many areas, including green energy. Now let's take a listen to her.
This year's theme is befitting. It's befitting to the topic that tackle the question of creating action, transformation, change. I think our conversation should kickstart with a question, and the question is, what kind of transformation do we need? It is my understanding that the broad consensus on this central question is that we need transformation that will support low-emission, climate-resilient development. I wish to posit that attainment of this would require bold and collaborative solutions, both in public and private sector. At present, Africa contributes less than 5% of the global climate pollution. This notwithstanding, Africa suffers dearly from the effects of climate change. In my own country, Tanzania, despite our minimal contribution to global climate change, yet the net economic cost of addressing climate change is estimated to be 2 to 3% of our GDP per year. And thus, climate change is a matter of grave concern to us, the developing economies. During COP28, the international community resolved, among others, to transit away from fossil fuels in the existing energy systems, with a view of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. The question here is how this transition can be a success without additional adverse effects on developing countries. We know, for instance, that greater or greener energy technology is not only more expensive, but also not really readily available in the most developing countries. So for practical reasons, energy transition in developing countries should be paced and properly coordinated. That being said, however, we might not have technology for greener energy, but Africa has the raw materials needed for this purpose. For instance, 40% of global reserves of cobalt, manganese, and platinum are found in Africa. So there is a role that Africa can play in the transition towards greener energy. In creating actions for transformation change towards a low-emission development path, several things are inevitable. First and foremost, with fossil fuels being the largest source of carbon dioxide emission, our conversation must begin with underscoring the need to phase out fossil fuels. Secondly, Africa has a huge potential to contribute to a green energy transition and is a respiratory of minerals critical to the energy transition, including cobalt, copper, chromium, iron ore, platinum or platinum group metals, lithium, and rare earth metals. These resources are essential for manufacturing electric vehicle components and renewable energy technologies. But all of this may not be useful if we lack the technology to develop them, technology which is available in the developed world. We thus need to complement each other. But the question here is how? Here I wish to make the case that the partnership for green energy should be mutually beneficial. Africa needs a smarter partnership towards a green energy transition. What would this comprise of? This would entail collaboration to establish low carbon intensive manufacturing facilities within Africa, and thus veering away from the current model of raw minerals export to energy equipment import. Both the economic and environmental case can be made for processing these minerals on site in Africa. What I'm now making is the political case. Doing this would help ensure that Africa's role in the green energy transition guarantees that its vast potential is used sustainably, with a poverty eradication at the fore. Thirdly, and connected to the preceding contention, Africa needs reliable and affordable greener energy technology. As I indicated earlier, Africa is currently paying dearly due to effects of climate change. Therefore, to sustainably cut them down, alternative technology should be available and affordable. And in this regard, we, the developed world, need to support, or the developed world need to support us with affordable greener energy technology.